What's up, guys? My name's Bill. I am the Crumble owner here in Chicago. I'm an entrepreneur, grew up in the business my entire life. And I am here to talk about entrepreneurship and everything Chicago.
I think you're fascinating. And that's what we try to cover here. Fascinating topics, fascinating people that have style and are innovative. And you have check, check, check. We got to meet because of a birthday party.
Yeah.
Go Eric, DJ Eric, thank you so much, because I know he's friends with you, and then you sponsored a birthday party that we threw at Penthouse.
Yeah.
I know people love the cookies. I want some cookies. Can we get some of them in here? So I gotta try it. Yeah. You gotta start with the pink one. Leave me alone now. So
when I first had this
so
cookie,
delicious. You're watching Chic Innovator. Stay tuned for fascinating topics, fascinating people that have style and are innovative. You're watching Chic Innovator. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It's free.
What's up, guys? My name's Bill. I am the Crumble owner here in Chicago. I'm an entrepreneur, grew up in the business my entire life. And I am here to talk about entrepreneurship and everything Chicago.
I love it. I love it. And we want to talk about you, too, because I found you fascinating. First of all, I want to thank Bill for being here.
Yeah.
Chic Innovator. You're chic and you're an innovator. We're going to talk about the chic part a little bit as well. But we got to meet because of a birthday party.
Yeah.
Go Eric, DJ Eric, thank you so much, because I know he's friends with you, and then you sponsored a birthday party that we threw at Penthouse.
Yeah.
I know people love the cookies. I got to tell you. I mean, we were there. I think it started at 7 and we were there till 3 a.m. So we were there that long.
Past my bedtime.
I know. It was mine too. I found a little corner and wanted to sleep, but instead I ate one of your cookies and then I was good.
Perfect.
But it was so much fun, and I love the cookies. But then I got to hear a little bit about your story, and you're really, what made this fascinating for me. Apart from the delicious cookies, I think you're fascinating. And that's what we try to cover here. Fascinating topics, fascinating people that have style and are innovative. And you have check, 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 all of the above. So thanks so much for being here with us today. I want to know more about you, okay? Because I think it's important for our audience to listen and to get motivated, to get inspired. That's really why we do this. As you know, I have a tech company. I have all kinds of other activities that going on, Runway Latinx, Giving Back, Pivoting in Heels. And so it's what do you really need to do a podcast for? But we want to do it because hopefully it inspires people. When they meet and hear about somebody like you, they get inspired. Or when they're facing something really difficult, you might give us a little bit of way of, how to deal with that, because I think all of us go through that, right? But you're an entrepreneur, 100% true and true. Where did this all come from, though? Tell us a little bit about your background, since you were a wee child. No, but really.
It actually starts there, which is the crazy part of my story, I'm not kidding you. I was in a baby stroller in a Subway. Back when it was called Pete's Submarine Sandwiches back in the day.
Okay.
So my father invested in Subway in the 80s.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. It had a different name before Subway, And so grew up in the business and, immigrant family, hustlers. And just
Where's your family originally from?
Pakistan.
Pakistan. Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Immigrated here about 1977 or so. Let's not fact check that. I don't know. Yeah. But around that time. And so they immigrated here, came across an amazing opportunity called Subway. I was born and raised in Glendale Heights area. And then we moved out to DeKalb, Sycamore area. And that's where we had our Subway locations.
Cindy Crawford is from there. Yes.
Famous. Yep.
We actually interviewed Marie, who's the person who found, discovered her.
Yeah.
And she discovered her here in Illinois. But Cindy Crawford, originally
Isn't
from
the
there.
story she was we had a Kmart in our town, and she was working in it or something like that.
So this is well, I'll tell the story just really quick.
Yeah.
She was working in it. They took all kinds of pictures of her and makeup artists, etc. But the person who found her actually was looking through a makeup book because a lot of people weren't picking her up.
Wow.
Because she looked different.
Yeah.
Remember, she had the little mole, and she looked different, and so they weren't picking her up. And Marie, who had this experience, she was only 24, I think, at the time, and she had worked worldwide with a lot of photographers and top models and top designers, she said she lost, everything around her went blank except for that face. And the rest is history. But yeah, Cindy Crawford is from there, so yeah.
Cindy Crawford and Bill.
I
was from there.
Yeah.
And so I grew up there, learned everything from just growing up within the business, watching my dad work. I was doing a schedule since I was 16, running a store by 18. And I think the most valuable lesson throughout my entire life was being able to watch my father interact, whether that was in a positive way or a negative way, dealing with the daily stress of owning a business. When you're exposed to the hardship, I think that really helps solidify, do you want to do that when you grow up, right? Because if you see your dad struggling your entire life, you're like, oh man, maybe
and
that's
business. Did you want to?
Of course. I think, everybody in business, especially when you're starting out with a scary brand like Subway. Actually, Subway wasn't really popular until the 2000s.
Oh,
so imagine taking that gamble very early on in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
When they're, still trying to figure things out and whatnot. I mean, you didn't want to be with Facebook day one. I mean, they were still trying to figure things out. And so same thing with Subway. And so you really didn't see success in Subway until the 2000s.
But I have to tell you, Bill, so my family is an entrepreneurial family. I am my dad. I am, but I remember we were always working. Yeah. There's no such thing as like the family wasn't working. So my dad was a tailor turned designer. We had several stores. He had a manufacturing area. My mom always said she was helping him, but she was running everything. The truth is she was running everything, but I remember that somebody told me that I gave a speech at one time, and I said that I did not want to be an entrepreneur ever. Because there were so many ups and downs in our home. We go out and we hunt, right? We hunt. We have to bring everything in. There is no check, except the one we write, that is paying us. And so I guess at one time I didn't want to. I went into government, worked my way through school. But I have to tell you, when I was like, what am I really going to do? And I'm a lawyer by education. But I said, no, I want to be an entrepreneur. Because there's nothing like being passionate about what you create, right? And so we get that from our family. And I'm so grateful to my family because you're right, you learn so much from them. I learned so much also from my dad. Tell me one of the biggest lessons, I guess, that you learned from being in an entrepreneurial family or from your dad.
Just like you talked about, you hit it all on the dot. I mean, it's basically, seeing the hardship, seeing the family table, never talking about anything but work. I grew up in that. So, but one good takeaway I took from my family and just watching my father work was how he treated people, his customers. That is everything in today's business, especially when you operate, a food concept. Your customers are the bread and butter. Like you talk about paychecks, I always tell my employees this, and it's one of my favorite sayings, is the customers make the paychecks.
Yes.
It's so true.
I like that. Yes.
They do. Yeah. They make the paychecks. Yeah. So treat them like that. Don't treat your boss, one way and a customer's another way. The customer should be the king, and that's how I treat my customers and kind of my philosophy on a day-to-day, running, brick and mortars like this QSR, is that my customers are the king and queens. And I bow down to them and I thank them for giving me the opportunity to serve them. Because that's what I'm here for. I'm making these amazing products to give to them.
Now, he walks in with these incredible cookies. Like, I'm salivating right now because we're going to have some at the end of this. Yeah. But, that's wonderful because that sets the tone for everybody to be happy.
Yes.
Yeah. But, okay, so you go to school. You got your parents. They're involved with Subway. Yeah. And then did they support you right away? Like, how did you get to Crumble? Tell us a little bit about that because this is a big deal.
Yeah.
This is a big product.
Yeah.
They're delicious, but there's also so much that's involved. I'll tell you, when I went in to your store in the Wicker Park area, I found that fascinating too, because it's a small area that does booming business, and
Yeah.
so it has to be highly efficient, right? And it's got to use data on what's working and not working, and et cetera. So to be successful in that, you have to already come with a lot of tools.
Yes.
Right. So tell us about like how you got there, because I'm so
I'd love to tell you the
about that.
story because I'll get into Crumble a little bit, but let's talk about how I found Crumble.
Yes.
It's an amazing story.
Yeah, okay.
So I was actually spun away from Subway, and I wanted to go invest and open my own concepts in something different, whether it was a different franchise or whatever. I was looking for something. That led
Because
me
we want to be independent, right? We're like, yeah, you know.
And I was tired of Subway and everything, so I was like, I want to do something different, you know? So I go out to Vegas.
Okay.
And I invest in 2 pizza places out there. And I run that, and I'm trying to do my own thing, and I'm a cocky 24-year-old. I don't need dad's help or anything. Got this SBA loan and all that kind of fun stuff. And I run those businesses for about 5 years, and then COVID hits.
Whoa.
And the concept that I invested in was not COVID friendly. And so unfortunately, I lost everything.
Oh my goodness.
Defaulted, credit cards charged off, everything you can name it. It was horrible.
And you had poured everything into that.
Everything, all my savings, all, the loan money was a little bit left over from whatever. And I was on OfferUp, selling off equipment, going into legal battles with landlords, everything, you name it, A to Z. I lost it all, and I was dealing with it all. Super depressed.
And how did you deal with that?
The mental toll was horrible, because you felt like finally you were on your own, and then unfortunately, it was uncontrollable. COVID was a unique case because some people just had, some of the rules were against them, and that was my issue. And so unfortunately, I lost my businesses. And it's April 26, 2020, and I am it's my birthday. I'm depressed. I'm in Las Vegas. I'm about to lose everything, and it's a month after COVID. It's kind of weird being single in Las Vegas, and the strip is closed, and there's no Calvin Harris, there's no Eric DJing, there's no Gordon Ramsay, and I'm just like, what am I going to do? And so I was into bodybuilding at the time, and I had a personal trainer, and I was working out in his garage. And he could tell I was off, for the past couple of weeks. And he's like, you need to cheer up, dude. Like, obviously, this is not something you can control. Eat something nice today.
So you were how old by then?
I was
30?
28.
29. Okay.
Yeah. 28, 29. I turned 29th. It was my 29th birthday.
Okay.
And he's like, you know what? I'm going to order you some crumble from DoorDash. Because, now non-dine-in options were still open, carry-out only. So Crumble was one of them during COVID, which gave him a good surge.
I do remember that.
It's crazy. So Vegas had some unique rules, obviously, then too. And so I had seen him post it. He was a big sweets guy. To be honest with you, I'm not actually much of a sweet guy. I'm more of a savory guy. I get the second entree or the fries or whatever. But I don't mind sweets. I still love cheesecake and all that kind of stuff.
I love sweets. Let's just make it clear.
Okay, I do love it. I guess I'm scared to eat it.
Yeah.
But so I seen him post it before, and I thought whatever of it. I wasn't really too into it because I was so into chicken and broccoli and rice at the time. I was
Good
like,
for you, though.
Yeah, I was like that kind of discipline. And so my plans for my birthday were to eat clean and go to sleep. That was it.
Okay.
And so I was like, you know what? Screw it.
In Las Vegas by himself. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm like, he said he's going to order me crumble. Come on DoorDash. It'll be there by the time the session's over. And I was like, screw it. Let's do it. I'm working out in his garage. And I was like, let's do it. Let's have crumble. And then so now if you go on my highlights on Instagram, you can actually see this journey because I documented it. The first ever crumble box I got, it was the long square. So not the single, but the long square. He got me 4 cookies.
Okay.
There was a Twix.
He walked in here with that. So yeah.
I got it. The box that I got was unbelievable. So I got a Twix. It was a peanut butter stuffed brownie, white chocolate macadamia, and an Oreo.
Ooh.
I opened this box and I just freak out.
Yeah.
My entrepreneurial mindset just went off, growing up in the business and, watching my father capitalize on an awesome business called Subway. I was like, holy crap, this is really unique. And at the time, in 2019, I would say 2015 to 2019, you were seeing these fads come in and out of social media. Crazy cupcakes, milkshakes, all this kind of fun stuff. I didn't buy into it until I bit into this. because when I bit into the Twix cookie, which was the first one I bit into,
Twix cookie. Oh.
it's so good. It's a shortbread cookie, thick layer of caramel, chocolate on top, mini Twix. But I took a bite and I said, wait a minute. This is like thought out. Somebody thought about the experience on the bite, the layered system. Why is the caramel in between the chocolate and that, right? Also, growing up in food, I know food service. I know Smuckers. I know Hershey. I know like the generic brands they sell. This was like high quality caramel and chocolate. My mouth is watering right now thinking about it.
I'm thinking about it too.
It was that good though. It's unbelievable. And so my mind just freaked out. And I said, wait a minute. This is not just some fad, crazy cupcake, milkshake
It's not
kind of
your
thing.
everyday cookie. Yeah.
No, somebody really educated, sourced this out perfectly, and did it masterfully. And I was like, I need to be a part of this.
Yeah, because you're looking at the packaging.
Yeah.
And the product also. And so
Mesh.
it's all. And were they using social media already by
So
then?
at the time, they were at about 250,000 followers. Right now they're at 7 million.
Wow.
So it was very early on, but their marketing was just as good. It was incredible for the time. The 8K camera showing off the cookie, splashing into milk and all this
No,
kind of
because
fun
people
stuff.
were just getting into it.
Yeah.
And I can tell you because I remember, so I was co-founder of something called Latino Fashion Week. I do the Fashion Week, which is now Runway Latinx. And we were one of the first ones to use social media. Nobody was using it.
Wow.
People were like afraid of it for
Right.
some reason.
Yeah.
And so that was early on.
Yeah.
And they were really maximizing it.
Exactly.
Okay, that's
And
great. So your head's going
Crazy.
Yeah.
The packaging, the product, the marketing, the branding. This was a home run. And I was like, I can't believe I came across this. They only have X amount of locations. They were only in Nevada, Arizona, and Utah at the time.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I need to do whatever it takes to be a part of this.
Okay.
I didn't have any money at the time. That's how you know an entrepreneur, when you have no money,
I
and you
know.
say you're going to be a part of something.
So tell our audience, because I know what it is for me, but because a lot of times people think there's a lot, and those are the people that I think are not in abundance mindset.
Right.
That think, I don't have the money to do this.
Right.
And then they block themselves.
They're called smart people.
Entrepreneurs,
Entrepreneurs are
I know we
crazy.
are, risk takers.
Yes.
So, but what made you think that you could do it? You were depressed.
Yeah. I knew that there was still something in me that if given the right tools, I could make a house. I was like, begging God to give me another chance. I was, telling myself I'll work harder than ever. I need something that I can align with that was up to speed with myself personally, which was the branding, marketing, technology factor of Crumble, and also the products. This was like a match made in heaven for me. This is how I knew that I could do it. If I was given the opportunity, I could do it.
And the truth is that even though some of these other things hadn't worked out for that, those were your lessons, right?
Yes,
that was getting you
exactly.
ready
It really
for this
was.
moment.
And in that prior business that I had, I was failing some weeks. I hustled door to door to schools, make deals. And I think everything set me up for this opportunity in my life. And it goes to show you in your career that sometimes your failures are just setting you up for your next success. And I think that's what my lesson
100%.
was. And
Yes.
so, for me, I really felt like I have all the tools to get going on this, almost this like baby company. I just felt like a useful old school resource with my knowledge of Subway and my prior business, with the failures and the goods, that I could bring a lot of value to this franchise. I just needed their attention. That's it.
But
Which was-
how did you get that?
That was the hardest part.
I bet, because,
So-
they were extremely well organized already, right?
Yes.
And doing very well.
Yeah.
And so why would they listen to a 29-year-old?
Correct.
Right?
So
what did you do?
man, I reached out to them like crazy. I emailed every day. I looked up on LinkedIn who were the founders. I was calling like crazy. I was prepared to take no for an answer. I was just calling everybody. No one's answering. I'm filling out the forms online saying, hey, I'd love to be a franchisee. I'll take any availability you have. I'd love the Chicago market, but I'll take anything. And so they never got back to me. And then this was
didn't?
No.
Oh.
And it was about June. Well, obviously they did one day.
Eventually, yes.
I didn't just buy this at the store.
Well, no, just kidding. So how did you get through all that?
So I finally, weird enough, talking about Instagram, I DM'd them on Instagram, their actual handle. And I said, hey, I'm a business owner. I'd love to be a franchisee. Can you have someone get back to me? And funny enough, their Instagram replied first before their corporate offices. That shows you like 2020 at the time, like that shows you the year.
I've got to tell you, Bill, it's still the case.
I know.
Because a lot of times, we're reaching out to designers or sponsors that we want, and that's how we get to them.
Yeah.
We'll reach out to them that way. I mean, we try everything, but, a lot of times it's the Instagram because they're on it. They're looking at it all the time, and then they'll say, hey, here's... pay attention here.
Yeah.
So good for you. Yeah. Okay, so then,
they finally reached out.
Okay.
We'll get back to you.
Okay.
And a great gentleman calls me named Jason. And he says, hey, so sorry about the delay. We're overwhelmed with inquiries. Love to have a chat with you and get to know you a little bit. So we get on the phone, we talk a little bit. And that was my initial interview with them. And we got along really well. He thought that I really aligned with the brand's values and the brand's future. And he told me the next step was to go out to Utah and meet the founder, Sawyer. I was so ready. I went out early July 2020, so about 5 years ago, which is crazy.
You got to meet the founder.
Yeah, of course.
Which is so important.
In the beginning, it was him. It was him making all the calls. There wasn't really a quite a true corporate structure just yet in Crumble. I mean, they were a baby company. It was like the founder, some of his cousins, kind of piecing things together, and it was a tech startup kind of scene over there. I get to Utah. Meet the founder, Sawyer. He's my age. We got along so well.
Oh, that's so good.
We were just chatting about fashion, I think, for the first hour or so.
I love this fashion. You heard that, right?
We were. He had a great sense of fashion, so we were talking a little bit about stuff.
He's a chic innovator.
Yeah, he is. He's a great guy. And so we were talking a little bit, told me his story. I told him mine. And he really was impressed by me. He loved how much I loved his brand, and I loved his leadership, which I did. And he granted me a franchise.
Tell me a little bit about, because you said the values.
Yeah.
What are the values that you aligned to?
So the values of Crumble is that, first things first, we're a family-friendly brand.
Okay.
We're a clean-cut bakery concept. What I mean by that is that, look at how simple and sleek everything is. Not only is our branding like this, but we want our stores to maintain this image at all times. Looking clean.
It's very clean, which is
all white.
Yes.
Simple.
Yes.
And other values mean quality. Making sure that everything looks picture perfect. I remember I printed out photos of pizzas and Subway sandwiches that I had made personally to show him how designed perfectly they were. That I like to make amazing products for customers. I'm not the sloppy, put it together, give it to you, here you go. I make sure that every cookie's perfect. Just that box I just showed you, didn't I apologize for the cookie being like this?
But it looks perfect.
Not everyone says that. Yeah. I do, though, because I feel shame that, oh, no, when I was driving here, got a little mishap. That, to some places, that's nothing. I mean, you go to places these days, like Chipotle or whatever, they just throw things together, right?
You just said that. No, but it's true.
Yeah.
And people love it. And people love it. No, we don't care. No, we don't care. I mean, people love Chipotle. I'm Mexican, so I got to go to my mama's home to get food. Or I make it.
Yeah.
No, but I get it. And that makes such a big difference.
Absolutely.
I mean, again, when I got to go to your store and I saw it and I saw how clean it was and then how creative you get, because that's the other piece that to me is really important, right? You get to get creative and you're looking at what's trending out there, what people like. You're going after what your customer likes.
Yes.
So to me, that makes such a big difference in whether or not you're going to be successful.
Absolutely. Yeah. And what comes with that is our social media presence, because we actually, and this goes back into, how our data works within our business, these social media reviews that we have of people getting a Crumble box, scaling it 1 through 10, telling us if they like it or not, we're watching that. We're seeing, did they like how tart that frosting was? If they didn't, we're going to change it next time.
So you're watching the feedback as it's coming in on social media.
It's the best customer data you can get.
Yes.
Is social media and how people honestly, non-paid review the flavors. And we use that, and we take it into account every single time. There's a full team in Utah that just sits there and watches videos all day.
There is. Mm-hmm. Boy, I know our communications people would love that. No, just kidding.
It's awesome, you know.
Picking on Alex here, but I know that you get to eat cookies too. No, how fun. Gluten-free. No, that's really great though. That makes so much sense in this day and age, right? Because the data's right there, and you're able to get the feedback right away, immediately.
You got to adjust. I mean, these days, people aren't going to fill out a pen and paper in the store, scan a QR code. When there's steps involved that feel mandatory or feel obligated, they won't do it. But there's no pressure.
Are you always asking people kind of, what do you think? Tell us, or they just do it?
Yeah. Obviously in store, absolutely. Yeah. But we don't go out of our way. It's like a robotic feel to it, but absolutely regulars and whatnot. See, we don't want things to feel kind of like pressured either as well too. Okay. It's better to be like, honestly, like I said, I treat my customers like king, but I also treat them like family.
Yes.
And then your mom's not saying, hey, how was that salsa yesterday? Was it good?
Well, she is. No, I'm just kidding. My mom wants to know. How was it? Did you like it?
Hey,
did you eat it?
Maybe she's trying to go to retail. You never know, right? Business.
It's funny.
But, like in a nice, fashionable way.
In a nice way.
Yeah.
Because you're making it because you want to please your customer.
Yes.
You want to make sure. And I think she does it for that reason, to be honest with you. Did you like it? I know I'm not putting a lot of salt on things anymore. You know how it is. So is that okay? And because you care. That's why you're asking, because you care, because you want to know. So I love that. And I know for my birthday party, thank you so much, because it was pastel. The theme was pastel, suggested attire. So you made the best.
So cute.
Oh my God. I loved it. Everybody loved it. And then it was funny because I had some friends that were just sitting by the fireplace area, and I took them over the cookies. They were like, what? We hadn't seen this, And so I brought it over to them, because you want them to enjoy something so good. So thank you so much. They were beautiful, delicious, loved it.
I have fun with events like that, like I told you in my store as well too, that is what makes this job so much fun, is being able to curate kind of 2 events and being able to create those meaningful moments, like that at your birthday party. So it means the world to me. There's things in life, comments that you hear that are more valuable than money itself, where you just say, you know what, that was worth it.
No, it's special. It made the whole thing special. So how many stores do you have now?
I have 5 locations.
5.
Yep.
And so Chicago, they were excited about you coming into Chicago when you first opened up, I bet.
No, they weren't actually. So that's another story. No.
What?
Yeah, so get this. So going back to how I met Sawyer and got approved to be a franchisee, he approved me on the grounds of I go to Glenview, Northbrook area. And I'm fit at the time. I'm 29. I'm single. I was like, ain't no way I'm living in Glenview, dude. I was like, I didn't come this far to go to Trader Joe's on the weekends. You know what I'm saying? I need to be in the city, expand my network, and capitalize on an amazing market that is Chicago. So I emailed him after the meeting. I kind of said, okay. I just want to get my foot in the door.
Well, and you're so valuable because you know Chicago.
I know Chicago, and I just knew this product would work really well there. And just like applying for the franchise, I knew I wasn't going to take no for an answer again. And so I emailed him, and I was like, listen, man, I know we talked about the north suburbs, but I really want to do Chicago. And he's like, Bill, I love you, but unfortunately, we don't have any data on inner city locations just yet. Open up this one, we'll do Chicago later.
But we're going to get you the data.
Yeah, and I was like, oh no. I was like, because I get it though, they're from Utah.
Yeah.
All they know is Target, Costco plazas. That's where they place the stores. Soccer mom, neighborhoods are the perfect bread and butter for this concept. But I thought there was more to the brand.
Yeah.
And I knew I had to say something about that. And so I was like, let's do Chicago. And I'm going to explain to you why. I made a nice little thesis for him. And I said, all these corporate buildings have so many, great networks within them. There's, a building called the Willis Tower, and it has this many businesses in there and all that kind of fun stuff. Kind of explained everything to him. The train system. I was literally breaking down just a major metropolitan market, what that meant, The football team, the amount of celebrities that come in.
Best transportation, number 2 in the country. We got everything. And, And people want something, and they will go out and get it and wait in line. And we'll pay.
Yes.
We'll pay.
Great
so that's
influencer market here. Yes. Everything, exposure. He said no.
He did?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
He's like, I understand you, I get it, but we're not ready yet as a company. I sent him a video of Jenny's line around the block in Milwaukee.
Ooh, okay. Good idea.
Because no subject, no text. I just sent him the video, just like that. I just didn't know what to do at this point. So I just showed him, and I let the video speak for itself.
I might have been in that line. I'm just saying.
Hey, the almond brown brittle, all day.
Yes,
Brambleberry.
yes.
Jenny's, she knows what she's doing.
Yes.
Jenny's is a lot like crumble. And, just the gourmet dessert aspect. Showing him a line around the block in July, in Chicago, in Wicker Park, on Milwaukee, that's a no-brainer. I wait a couple days, I get an email back saying, let's do it, Bill. Let's put the first ever crumble in an inner city market.
How long did it take you?
He said, but you're on your own.
Oh.
If you fail, I'm not giving you another location.
Oh.
And I was like, done.
Okay.
Deal. Which, like we talked about earlier, most people calculate and get scared and maybe retract. I said, let's go right away.
That's a challenge, taking it on.
It was the quickest sent from my phone email I've ever done in my life. I said, let's go. Let's do this. And from there was history.
But wait a minute. Because you didn't have any money when you started this whole thing,
that's
right?
true.
So did you get money? Where'd you get the money? How did you?
Yeah. So basically, when I was liquidating all my locations in Vegas, I thankfully, had a lot of things work out for me in Las Vegas. A lot of laws that worked in my favor. There was a lot of
because it was
assistance
COVID
programs,
and there were the assistance programs.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So COVID relief, all that kind of fun stuff.
Yes.
So slowly but surely, I feel like the stars align sometimes. And so as I was going through the crumble process, all my wounds were being Band-Aid. It was kind of unbelievable how it was working out at the same time. And I felt like that was like a message from above that was just like, wow, the road is starting to get clear.
No, I 100% believe in that. I have deep faith in some people God, some people universe, whatever.
Yeah.
But when you put yourself in that, things begin to align. And sometimes they don't because they need you to adjust a little bit because you're not listening, right? But then they begin to align. It all kind of falls into place, including COVID. I have to tell you, COVID was, for my business, probably one of the best times. Initially because I'm in tech.
Yeah.
So initially when it happened, I was like, oh my goodness. And then it started moving things. And then we were able to close on a bunch of contracts because they needed us now.
Right.
They needed my technicians, my engineers, immediately. Yeah. And so our business grew quite a bit. And I'm like, okay, I'm on the right track. I get it. I get the message. Because it is like a message. It really starts... It slaps you a little bit, but then it's like, okay, now you're on track, and then things start moving. So good for you. So you were able to get some cash.
Yes.
But you're still putting a lot on the line.
A lot on the line, just about everything to my name. After selling my car off, maxing out more credit cards, everything. I went all in. This was an all-in moment for me. This had to work. Nobody believed in crumble. I actually was asking friends to beg them for investments, money, everything. Even my parents said, I don't know if a $5 cookie is going to work. They didn't think it was going to work. They thought it was a joke.
They probably, like my parents, which would have said, that's a lot of money for a cookie. Yes. What are you doing? That's crazy.
Yeah. And I don't blame my dad.
We can make it at home. Yeah.
My dad, for the 90s, was selling 3 cookies for $1. So for him to see that sticker shock of, wait a minute, 1 cookie for $5? Right. No way, you know? But it's a different time.
Yes.
This concept is very millennial Gen Z friendly.
Yes.
That's what it is. You have to really be within the age group to really recognize how valuable of a brand this was. You know what I'm saying? And so, times are changing. That's pretty much what it comes down to. QSR is king. Yeah. And so, for me to really take this leap, I really needed to believe in myself because everyone around me wasn't believing in it. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
So you didn't have any support around you with that?
I did not.
And the company was even a little shaky, right? Because they were like, this better work. I mean, we know our product. So what did you tell yourself? I mean, what do you tell yourself when you don't have anybody believing in you? Like, I don't know. Some people use affirmations. Some people, what do you do?
Well,
how do you get yourself out of bed and tell yourself this has got to work?
When the rent's due, I think. When you have an all-in moment, it really helps out because you don't have another choice. There is no plan B or plan C.
Yes.
There was only plan A.
Yes.
And I woke up every single day. I lived across the street at Sweetgreens above it. I got an apartment right there.
Okay.
So that I could go to work every single day. Because it was COVID and nobody wanted to work. So when I actually first opened my store, I couldn't get help.
Oh, wow.
So I was doing this
Yeah.
volume, of
Still
almost
hard to get people sometimes to
6
work.
figures a week.
Wow.
Just me. It was
Wow.
unbelievable.
It was just you.
Just me.
Oh, my goodness.
Because you couldn't hire help at the time. Obviously, I
Yeah.
had some people here and there that didn't qualify for the employee assistance program, but it was just me and working open to close. And,
Yeah.
I always tell people that moment in my life, I almost like blacked out. Like, I don't remember much of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like I was just waking up, doing the same routine over and over, opening my store, closing my store, going in. But that's what it took. And I think that was the lesson I was getting from above.
Yeah.
Was that, hey, you promised me earlier in this story that you would give it all. If I gave you another opportunity, you'd give it your all. Here it is.
Yeah. I record everything, so I know
Yes,
what you said.
can
I know what you
backtrack.
promised.
And I remember because I lived it, and I was like,
Yeah.
And that was what I reminded myself every day. Hey, you asked for this. You asked for this. You asked for a way out of this all.
Yeah.
And it was. And I was so grateful. And it was okay. It wasn't that hard going to work every day. Obviously, my feet started to hurt after a while.
Oh, I bet. No, that's a lot.
I have an Achilles issue.
That's
If you
a
saw
lot.
me limping over here, I have an in and out Achilles issue.
Yeah.
But this is worth it for this. Absolutely. All day and night, And so
I have one because I wear heels. No, I do, but they're worth it too.
maybe I need heels, actually. High arch issue right now. So
No,
so
but you're all in. I think being all in, you
Yes.
don't have a plan B. That's a big deal.
When the rent's due and there's no one to help you out, you've already gotten this essential bailout. You can't get one again. Lightning doesn't strike twice like that. You know what I'm saying? So I knew that I had to do whatever it takes. And so that was my motivation every single day.
And as soon as you opened, it was successful? Or
Right
how
away.
did-
From day one.
Really?
It was unbelievable.
Great.
Because it was something new and something different. It had a slight hype through TikTok during COVID because there was nothing else to do. That's when food reviews got really popular. That's where Crumble saw a lot of its success was during COVID because everyone was at home saying, okay, got this Crumble box. Let's see what this little gooey gummy worm thing is all about. Takes a bite, bam.
So it was the right timing.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
Perfect
Yes.
timing. And there was nothing like it. Now you're seeing a lot of copycats. Now you're seeing a lot of places offer more dessert options or go crazier now.
Yeah.
Go look at Burger King, Taco Bell, see how they're doing
Not
right
the
now.
same. It's not the same, people.
But it's okay. Everyone's trying to be. At the end of the day, I always love the Gary Vee saying was that we live in an and world, not an or.
Yeah.
So there's always. It's great to have more options out there, and I'd love to see what's turned to the world.
I remember, though, that you also told me that you had put everything in, and when you were going to open up, didn't your technical engineers, Cisco, didn't you say that Cisco, they were going to close you down? They said, you have to pay us now, and you didn't have the money to pay?
Oh, no. So basically what happened was that, so whenever you have like Cisco or contractors that work for you and finish up a brick and
Yes,
mortar for you,
yes, yeah.
you have a net payment plan.
Yep.
So like a 15-day net or 30-day net.
Yeah.
So I just asked for it to be extended, and they helped me out. So
Thank you, Cisco. My guys are Cisco engineers.
yay.
I want to
Shout out Cisco, you're the best. Thank you so much.
Yes.
They gave me an extra 14 days because I had to open up my store early and start practicing, like training.
Yeah.
And so we were like training and I didn't have the money to pay that back until we opened because there was a slight delay in my opening. So like, I had the food in my store, but it was already past that net payment time.
That's tough.
Yeah, I was negative
That's
17 in my
tough.
account. So I was just like,
Yeah.
hey guys, can I have 2 more weeks? I promise I'll have the money for
I
you.
love that, though.
And they
you,
helped it out.
yeah, and that's the thing. Like, if you see an entrepreneur, help them out just a little bit. We'll get past that hump, you know?
And it's another lesson for you right there is don't be shy to ask. A lot of people are shy.
100%. You have to
There's
ask.
a lot of leeway in some of your vendors.
Yes.
But you won't know it until you ask. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You have to always shoot your shot. I always love that, So
Yeah.
No matter what, just ask. Don't be afraid. You never know. The worst they can say is no.
Yeah.
Always.
Don't be afraid. Don't be embarrassed.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think if you help them see your dream, they'll believe in it and
Yeah.
they'll want to be a part of it too. If they can help, they help.
Absolutely.
So-
And people know when you're a good person. They really do.
Yeah.
And they always want to help other good people. I think they saw me. They knew my story. They got to have a couple phone calls with me and said, you know what, this is a good guy.
Yes.
Let's help him out.
So, Bill, I'm so glad, like the cookies and everything, we're going to try one right now, but I do want to ask you about your style.
Okay.
Because we talked about people who have style. I mean, first of all,
Yeah.
that crumble pullover. I want it.
Yeah.
And then I know you're a shoe guy, right?
Shoe guy, just clean white Air Force Ones. I was wearing my Crumble Air Force Ones, but they were a little dirty, so I had to wear some white Air Force Ones.
Yeah.
These are Theory pants right here. Fresh, love Theory, good
Yeah.
company.
No, I mean, you
yeah.
always look great, and you have style and
Yeah.
everything else, and you are going to be at Runway Latinx.
Yes.
Right?
Can't wait.
Yes, but one of the things that Bill told me, which I really love, and also I wore pink, but on top of this is why I wore pink, is that you're very committed to a cause
Yeah.
that takes place in October.
Yep.
And so you're going to be representing that at Runway Latinx.
Yeah.
I mentioned to you that the proceeds go to Pivoting in Heels to empower women. So this is something that empowers women. Tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So I've had the unfortunate, moments in my life to deal with breast cancer. And breast cancer has affected a lot of people within my family and loved ones. And
sorry
this is something
to hear
that
that.
I am very passionate about because it's something that is truly preventable. If caught early, it can be cured. And I think that there's a weird feeling with women that it's uncomfortable to get checked early on. And I think if the more we make that comfortable and letting people know that it's okay and have that education out there and have that awareness out there, that I think it'd become more popular to be checked and go to the doctor. With millennials and Gen Z, I'm sure you're noticing this well too, the doctor's office is getting kind of quiet. They're not visiting as often. They're kind of getting, True Doc online help and whatnot. Or, so I think it's very, important to have women be checked and to have that education out there. And so, our brand being pink.
Yeah. Right,
Most
aligned.
of my
Very
clientele
aligned.
is female that walks into the store. All the ones I love in my life are female, And so for me, it's very important in the month of October especially to bring awareness however I can. Especially using my platform, amazing brand, well received in Chicago. That's the time where I just don't care about money and I just want to see what I can do and use my platform for good.
No, we'll help get the word out. I know you're going to 17th and the 18th of October, and we're going to have crumble cookies there, but we'll also help get the word out because it is really important.
Yeah.
And I've got to tell you, I forget sometimes. I mean, I'm guilty. So you reminded me. It was interesting because you and I had spoken, and then I got a notice from Rush, hey, you haven't come in. So it's important. Honestly, you bringing that to my attention, and I bring it to, our audience's attention because it is something that's really important. And if you put it on around your birthday or something, that's probably the easiest way to do it. Or at the end of the year, but make sure that you get in there. And thank you for doing that because it's really important to get the word out, and we'll help get the word out too, both through Pivoting in Heels and at the event at Runway Latinx. So thanks.
Absolutely.
And I know people are going to be excited because they're going to get crumble cookies.
Yeah,
so that's really fabulous.
It's always worth it, And
yes.
like I said, like our brand's pink. It's an amazing platform that's, warm, inviting, something as sweet as cookies. And I think there's no better time to kind of bring awareness.
Yeah. Well, thank you for everything that you do. I want some cookies. Can we get some of them in here? So I got to try it. Yeah.
I think we got to start with the pink one, right?
Yeah. We got to start with the pink one. Yeah.
All right. So first things first.
Okay.
Look at this one. Here, I'll just give you a full one.
It's so good.
What's that initial note? That almond? I love it.
Leave me alone now. So
When I
good.
first had this
so
cookie,
delicious.
I was really impressed with the company because it has almond paste in there, which is very famous in Indian sweets. And I knew that whoever is the culinary director was very cultured. That's who you want to be. Anyone can create these kind of flavors in America, right? This is unique, though, because the vanilla sugar that we normally have tastes like cardboard from like Walmart and Jewel and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
This tastes very pure,
Yes.
right?
Fresh butter, fresh eggs.
There's a cleanness to it.
And like I said, that vanilla almond taste is super unique, and kids love it. You would think they're scared of the almond taste. They're not.
No.
This is one of the most popular kids' flavors.
Oh, I bet. No,
Cool.
it's very good. Thank you.
Cheers. Yeah.
Very good. Thanks for watching Chic Innovator. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It's free.